Oh, hey!
Hey.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Oh, I'm not too bad. Oh, hi! Hey!
Love the makeup.
Oh, stop it! Oh, come on. Alright, well, thank you guys so much for coming. Welcome to Girly Space, where we are going to create the girly aesthetic of your dreams, where however confronting they may look to you or to me. Now, for those who don't know, which is pretty much everyone who's watching, we are going to design the very studio we're sitting in. Think of this space as like a blank canvas where your most treasured values are going to flourish on bold display. Can we go around the circle and just introduce ourselves?
Am I the start?
Will, please.
I feel like I'm the start, naturally. All right, well, my name is Will. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Will.
My pronouns are all of them, but they, them is usually easiest. I am a farmer at core, but currently I am in hospo. And I'm 21 in like 8 days.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate that. What I need actually, if there's gonna be sunlight in the room, then I definitely need plants. Firstly, so I need to have a shelf to be able to put my plants on. Oh, and then I can get my sunrise clock. Firstly, which is amazing, and then put it on the shelves with the plants. Look, this is my friend. He's a turtle. He's great.
Okay. Will,
Dan.
as a child, were you labelled as girly at all?
Dude, absolutely not.
Really?
For sure, no. No, I was always a tomboy as a kid, 100%. Yeah, which is a funny label now. And being labelled as girly often comes along with being labelled as weak and as superficial, incapable, and inept. Like you can't have your own independence because you wouldn't be good at those things by yourself, etc., etc. Of course you want to move away from that because you're being labelled as qualities that are, one can argue, inherently not good, and you feel useless, and so you're like, well, I don't want to be that, so then I don't want to be a woman, right?
No, totally fair.
It's going to be a bag of books somewhere, and I'm just going to fill it up with all the things that I read. I do a lot of stuff. I do a lot of writing. I do a lot of journaling. Poetry and art and all that good stuff. Yeah, that's a definite must. Ooh, well, if I'm spending, creatives, obviously, I've got the writing and the reading down. Then I've got to have like a guitar to like spend some more time, just hanging out. Play us something? Is that loud? I'm gonna do it.
But it didn't
In a
have the
different way.
connotations we consider now.
Okay,
Like at
but
the
this
time.
is my favorite thing about femininity and masculinity is the connotations that we have now and the connotations that were then are different, and they have always been different, and they always will be different because femininity and masculinity changes depending on where you are and when you are. It evolves. Perfect, yes. And there's gonna be like, I've got so many, I need pencils and pens, man, to write in my books. That's what I need. Amazing. If you just want to chuck it on the floor, I could do that. Oh, dude, so many books. I love reading. I also love doing various things, Sudoku, to pass the time. I've got, okay, this is just genuinely a novel. Someone should read that.
When you decorate your room, it's a must.
Yeah.
Like it's a uniform.
Yeah.
Like it's
not what's going to make me conform, or at least once you like grow up, quote unquote. I feel there's a lot less about like conformity to whatever idea that you're trying to fit in. And it's just like, what do I enjoy in my space? What reflects me as a person?
So you say grow up though. What do you mean by that?
Good question. Let me thunk on it, because it's one of those things you sometimes just say and don't think through the meaning behind it.
From what my understanding of what you said, you're thinking more when someone like matures in themselves to critically to a point where they can critically think about what makes them them.
Exactly, and also just like what makes you happy and what you enjoy being around. You don't know always what that is at the beginning of your life, right?
Yeah.
It takes time to figure out, and it changes, etc., etc. That's fun. That's for you. And then I have these two, which are portraits done by a friend of mine. I don't think they're portraits of anyone in particular, but I felt like they suited the the vibes of today. I feel like that's cool. So totally someone could also put these up, maybe once this one's done. There's not a lot of blue tack, so we'll have to figure it out. But I suppose what I meant by that was, if you're a kid and you have a pink wall and you're a bloke, when your friends come over, they might be like, oh, that's pretty sus of you, bro, right? And that might be an uncomfortable experience. Perhaps that will be the way that you decorate your space, or the way that you decorate your body, what clothes you wear, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, that's heavily influenced by your peer group and not wanting to be judged. And I would say most spaces, or at least the spaces that I was growing up in, was very much like that, judgmental.
Yeah.
Obviously there are places in the world that are not, which is fantastic. But yeah, like, yeah, if you had a pink wall in your room, and you'd be fucked over, right? So when you grow up out of that mindset and out of that environment, and you're in your own spaces with your own peers who understand, who don't care, whatever it is, it then becomes unimportant of what it means to everyone else. It becomes important of what it means to you.
Yeah.
And if you enjoy it or not. There are biological reasons and all that sort of thing. But it's just shitty that we get to like cherry pick things out of gender roles, and just for what purpose? Like, who's enforcing this?
Yeah.
Aside from ourselves.
Who does this
Who
help?
benefits from this?
Yeah, no one benefits, and we're all doing it because we think it's good, but it's not, and we all know it's not, but we still do it, and it's just stupid. It's stupid. It's very nice, actually. I think a lot of these things are, like, I was speaking to Dan about it earlier, about like what's classically feminine, and like loving nature and being outside, and like having soft materials in your room, and having of like a gentle alarm clock. I think it's funny how those things are inherently feminine, perhaps, maybe. And yet looking at them visually right now, you might just go, oh, well, it's like brown and green and blue, they're masculine colours. Oh. So I think it's fun that you can, how things look and how things are sometimes are very different vibes. And I think it's funny how we just kind of take things for how they might visually look and go, oh yeah, that's one box, that's another box, it's masculine, it's feminine. Yeah, and just like stick with that label when you could totally change it up. And yeah, it's got all the things that I like to do. It's got all my creative endeavours and my books and the poetry that I write and the journals that I do. I've got like a travel journal everywhere I go. I always write all my experiences down. And I've got photos of my friends and art and tea, yeah. And plants and Gerald. You can totally zoom into Gerald now. That'd be a great time to zoom into Gerald. Yeah. Yeah. 3.
Fairy lights. Is it just those two?
Yeah.
Alright.
This is happening now.
Yeah, no, I'm still plugging it in.
Do you want this canvas button?
Pardon?
Do you want this canvas button?
Yeah, please. There's a big ball of blue tack there if you want to use that. Not really. Yeah, go for it.
Feng Shui.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
No, I'm actually
There's the song.